Hey folks, this is Caleb with the Dust Bowl Catholic, and I have my lovely bride here, Miss Britton. And we thought we would try a thing out. We have this book, My Catholic Faith. You can find it at TAN and a few other places. We thought we would just start going through it, and it's basically like Catechism for adults. If you just go online and search for My Catholic Faith, you'll find it. And it goes through all kinds of stuff. It's got some cool old pictures and things like that. I thought we'd give it a try. We're going to start with number 1, religion and the end of man. I would probably call this, why are we here? Is the destiny of man? Well, then it kind of talks about, well, we come from God. Well, first let's talk about that. Do we come from God? Or are we just from the ooze?
Well, yeah, we come from God.
So I did some looking actually online about this. And the odds that even a little protein would come from ooze, it's like 1 times 10 to the 40 power. So that's just insane odds just to get a protein.
Right.
So to get a whole...
And an entire human race.
Exactly. Or even just a little bacteria.
Yeah.
Is that much more.
Not
So
watchable.
yes, we cover that. We come from God.
Yes. We were created.
Yes, we were created by God. So we were made by God. So if we're made by God, and if you make something at home, that belongs to you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So if I were to make a chair, I'm not a carpenter.
Right.
But if I were to make a chair, it would be my chair unless I sold it to somebody else.
Right.
Which, of course, God's not going to sell us. So
Yeah, to take that a step further, nothing comes from nothing.
yeah, exactly. Where did that wood come from?
Right.
Well, God made the tree made the wood, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. Our reason also tells us that God must have made us for some purpose. Again, why are we here? That's kind of what I'm thinking about here. Now, the old school catechism answer to that is...
To know him, to love him, to serve him.
To know and love and serve him. Exactly. There's actually a CD of really old songs, little old children's songs that has a song about that. Why did God make us? It's pretty good. Look that up too. We can find that. I can put a link to that in the.
It's like 24 Catholic or songs for children or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's very good.
To know him, to love him, and to serve him in this world, and to be happy forever with him in the next. So God made us for himself, of course. So if you make a chair, it's not for... I might make you a chair. But most chairs I make are going to be for me unless I'm selling them.
Right, but you get to decide
exactly
what happens with it. Right.
Made it for me. So God did the same thing for us.
Right.
And so the end of man, or the purpose of man, as of all creation, because God made everything, is the glory of God. It's just like your kids. If you have kids, you want to be proud of them. You want them to, exhibit the qualities that you instill in them.
Right.
Hopefully good qualities.
Hopefully good virtues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when a kid, when somebody comes to you and says, wow, your kids are really well behaved, that glorifies you. Even though you're not asking for that glory, it still does. So
Right.
we're kind of the same thing, right?
Right.
So by glorifying God, man is destined to share his everlasting happiness in heaven. And man was created chiefly for the life beyond the grave. This present one is merely a preparation for the eternal life.
Well, I think it's a hard concept that there's something better beyond. We enjoy the here and now.
Yeah, I like bacon.
Right.
I'm not sure if there's bacon in heaven.
It's difficult. Oh, there has to be bacon in heaven. I mean, come on. I think that we can't fathom how much better it will be in heaven. There are certainly rules, and in the grand scheme, they're fairly simple rules.
Here we go. We belong to God. Since we are his creatures, we have certain duties toward God. Duties. You talked about rules.
Rules, duties.
Yeah.
Obviously free will. I mean,
yes, we do have the free will.
He
we
wants
have
us
duties.
to choose
Yes.
him. Yeah.
Are we going to do them or not?
Right.
And when we do them, we glorify him.
Right.
We are those well-behaved children.
Right. From time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So, religion teaches us what these duties are. First, we covered, did we come from God?
Right.
Then we covered what is our purpose? Why are we here? Mm-hmm. To know, love, and serve him so we can be with him forever. Secondly, what is religion and why do we need to worry about it? Well, that kind of goes to it there,
I would
right?
say religion is basically the rules, the guideline God gives us.
Those are those duties.
Right, the duties, the guideline.
So that we can glorify him. So, what is religion? Religion is the virtue by which we give to God the honor and service due to him alone as our creator, master, and supreme Lord.
Right.
So, again, going back to the kids analogy, your kids should honor you as their parents.
Right.
Okay, so we should also honor God as our parent, as our heavenly parent.
Right.
So,
and just how you have rules in the home that you expect your kids to obey, he has a guideline and rules for us that he expects us to obey.
Which falls under the religion umbrella. So that's
Right.
all religion is. It's just the duties that we have to carry out in
Right.
order to know, love, and serve him so we can be with him forever later.
Right.
Gotcha. In order to practice this virtue, religion is what they're talking about here, we must believe all truths revealed by God. Talk to me about that one.
Believe all the truths. Obviously, some of those truths is more out of faith that we believe because we can't see or...
True. Okay, here's one. The perpetual virginity of Mary.
Right.
A lot of Protestants like to bring up that, well, in the Bible it says, that Jesus had brothers and sisters and cousins, that kind of thing.
Right.
So...
Right. They're taking it in the literal sense.
Right.
Because of the wording in the Bible.
Right. Now,
which is why we have the church to sort of
to tell
guide us.
Exactly, to guide us. It's not up to
Yeah.
our interpretation. There is no Hebrew or Greek or Hebrew word for cousin.
Oh,
It's
right.
only brother and sister.
Right.
So that's
Right.
where it comes from. But to believe all the truth, yes, Mary was perpetually a virgin. She had Jesus
And she
via the
remained a
Holy
virgin.
Spirit, and she remained
Yeah.
that way forever. And
Yeah. And that's just simply something we believe because it's a truth revealed by God. It's a dogma of the church.
right?
And that's it.
Yes.
Why argue with it?
Yeah, why argue? It's just
Why?
like when your kid says, why do I got to do that? Because I said so.
Right. There are some
Pretty
things
much. You
that
just believe
you
because the
believe.
church says.
Right.
Okay, number 2 part of religion. Carry out in our lives what we learn about the duties we owe to God, about his commands and wishes. So it talks about mere knowledge is not religion. So you can know the duties. Okay, you know that during Lent on Fridays, you're not supposed to eat meat.
Well, it's works.
Right. Faith without works is dead. That's
Right.
in James, going back to Lent, Fridays, no meat. Okay, we know that. Most Catholics know that. But do you do it? That's where the rubber hits the road.
Right.
Boy, I like hamburgers.
Especially on Fridays.
Exactly.
They seem to be better on Fridays.
Or people, you got the office lunch, and they're always on
Always
Fridays.
on a Friday.
Always on Fridays.
But that's where you receive the grace
right.
because it's an offering.
We are,
And that's what it's meant to be.
And I try not to grumble, but
Yeah.
I'm not so good at that. Is it necessary for us to practice religion? Well, of course. That's how we
Right.
glorify God.
Right. And we either choose them or we don't.
Right.
So, of course, no, we don't have to practice religion, but you may not get to see him in the end. So, yes, it is absolutely necessary to practice religion if we want to please God.
Right. It says right here, God gives us no choice in the matter.
Right.
Either you do it or you don't.
Right.
That's the way it is.
Well, sure. He
Right.
created us. He made the rules.
Right. So our chief business in life, the business which God commands us to attend to, is to go to God. And how do we go to God in the end in heaven? Is by Practice
by
it.
what we do.
Right.
What we
you do,
believe and what we
you believe
do.
and what you do.
Yeah.
Many people spend their lives in vain pursuit of riches, honors, and pleasures, but these never satisfy the heart of a man, even on earth. Besides, they have to be left behind when the hour of death comes. That's a key thing right there.
Right.
I don't care if you got $1 million in the bank, you die, it ain't coming with you.
Right.
You know, that's
right. I mean, we can enjoy the things here
Right.
on earth, of course. They've been given to us by God, but we can't be so attached to them that we forget our duties
right.
as a Christian. But it's a matter of still putting God first, making his glorification a priority.
Right. From whom do we learn to know, love, and serve God? Okay, so we're going back to our purpose in life, know, love, and serve God.
Right.
And we know that there's religion,
Right.
and that by practicing religion, that's how we glorify Him.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn to know, love, and serve God from Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who teaches us through the Catholic Church.
Right. Because he founded the Catholic Church.
Exactly. You know,
He is
he
our
created
Redeemer.
the first pope.
Right.
You know, Saint Peter, upon this rock I will build my church.
Yeah.
You know, Peter is Greek for rock. It just makes sense. The study in which Jesus Christ teaches us about God and how we know, love, and serve Him is the study of religion. It is the most important study anyone can undertake. The neglect of this study is the root cause of crime in the world, because you're not following even
Right.
the 10 Commandments.
Right.
Without a knowledge of God, men give way to the basest passions. Talking to my brother, he makes a very good point in that the church and priests are supplemental to what we do here
Right.
in the home.
Right.
We, as even just a married couple, should study religion, which is
Right.
kind of what we're doing now. And we should teach our kids
Absolutely.
the tenets of that religion. Yes, there's religious education and catechism at church and the priests and the sisters.
Which people should absolutely take advantage of.
Great. Yes, do it. But
But it should start in the home.
Yes, exactly. It should start in the home.
You have to live your faith.
Mhm.
You have to pray your family rosary.
Right.
You know, teach your kids the catechism, religious education.
Right. You know, they have, there's the big thick catechism of the Catholic Church that you can buy just about anywhere now. But if you need something for your smaller kids, there's the Baltimore catechisms. They have like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that right?
I believe so. It might be just 1, 2, and 3, and then they have the
okay.
First Holy Communion.
Oh, okay. But number 1, I remember when we got it. It's no kidding for like 3 to 5-year-olds kind of thing. It's very simple, has pictures, and is starting at 3 to 5 and potentially going a little further. But
Yeah, I think the 5th grade is doing number 2,
okay.
and then 7th and 8th this year are doing number 3.
Okay. Okay. So that's some place to start,
That's great.
We have
It's
this,
full of
and then
information.
get a little book for the kids and go through
Yeah.
it with them.
And there's simple catechisms that are great for adults. I mean,
True.
so much to learn.
Right. Who are those that advocate no study of religion? Those that advocate no study of religion are generally termed free thinkers, agnostics, skeptics, and rationalists. Well, I'm always a skeptic. You can tell me the sky's blue, and I'm going to have to go out and look at it and make sure it's blue. But, when
That's where faith comes in.
Right.
though. You can be a skeptic, but you still got to have faith.
Right. So you got to have the faith.
It's okay to question.
And you got to have the faith that the church is not going to teach us anything false or contrary.
Right, to what Christ
Right.
allows.
So it's faith in God through Jesus and Mary, and faith in the church. Freedom of thought has a pleasant sound, but it is against reason. By it, the mind is fettered by error. We submit our minds freely to natural and scientific truths. That is true freedom. If there's no freedom of thought in mathematics, why in religion? Math is math. 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4.
Right.
We know these are true. We're not going to argue that this is wrong. So why would we do that with religion?
Well, because sometimes there are simpler routes. People want to live a certain life that isn't within the guidelines. It's easier.
Right. So they argue.
Right.
And they're like, well, but
Or rationalize it, or
I really wanted to sleep later this morning instead
Right.
of getting up and going
Right.
and seeing Jesus. That kind of
Sure.
thing.
It's easier.
It is. It's easier.
It's not necessarily easy to practice religion.
No. Especially when there's hamburgers on Fridays
That too.
with bacon on them and cheese.
Right.
So, all right. Freedom of thought is evidently a contradiction. We are not free to think what is not the truth. Okay, that is not a wall. But I can't walk through it.
Right.
So, it doesn't matter what you argue.
That's logic. A lot of it
True.
is simply logic.
Yeah. Last one. The intelligent man, in order to attain the kind of freedom humanly possible, should find out to which authority he must submit. God.
Right.
He must discover which is the law, that law being the church and its teachings. And this is why the rational man studies religion to find out this fundamental law.
Right. I think, the rational, the honest man,
Right.
the one who has his heart in the right place, is truly searching for the truth, will find it. We know he will. We were told that by God, that
Right. Well,
everyone would receive that grace.
anything else? We made it to the end of the page.
We did.
That didn't take very long. Huh?
No, it didn't.
Exactly. So, I hope you all enjoyed this. Follow along with us. We're going to try to put these out every now and then. Just going through the book. I'll put a link to this book. Again, it's My Catholic Faith in the show notes. And if you'd like to come along with us, please do. Be sure to click subscribe and like and all that good stuff. Come see us on the website. We're on Facebook and Instagrams and all that good stuff. Just at Dust Bowl Catholic. So hope to see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.